Okay, so let's get into this, guys. So, welcome to session two, everyone. So we will. I'll go off and let you know when you need to leave on the grid.
All
So
right.
as you can see, we are now on the standing grid
All
here.
right.
So
Good racing, boys. I'm going to mute myself now.
Yeah, good luck.
Copy. Good luck.
make sure now that you load up those setups, guys. Don't just get ready. Make sure that even if it says that you got the setup there, I would be loading it up again. Making sure your strategy is selected, ready to go. And only once you've checked that, ready up. And then I'll call out. So I won't call out when Sato has to go because I think he will know in 5 seconds time. So you can use either your lap timer on your dash or you can look at your countdown if you've got the HUD. But if you don't have anything, I will let you know. I'll say go, go, go. So it'll be Sato at 5 seconds wait. Truey and Night Havoc have 11 seconds to wait. Kemp has 17 seconds to wait. Lou has 28 seconds to wait on the grid. And the Unicorn has 1 minute and 3 seconds.
Oh, Lou ended up in fifth.
Hey?
I don't know how I've ended up here. I think I've stuffed it up, sorry.
That doesn't matter.
That's right. So just be careful when you're taking off Night Havoc.
Yeah, all good.
So not Night Havoc. Yeah, it is Night Havoc. You're right behind. Yeah.
That's all right. We'll work it all out.
20 seconds.
All right. Best of luck, guys. Should be nearly ready up.
Ten seconds.
Everyone has to ready up.
You don't want a DNS.
Magic.
Uh-oh.
That's what he does all the time. All right. Good luck. All right, Sato, you're good to go. Chewie and Night Havoc, you'll be ready to go now. Kemp,
Oh.
you should be ready to go now. Lou, get ready. You can go very shortly. Now, is Magic Mass going? You can go, Magic. You were going at 0, sorry. Okay, they're only going to be waiting now for you, Unicorn. You'll be able to go very shortly. About 20 seconds or so. All right, get ready, Unicorn. You can go in 3 seconds. 2, 1, off you go. Have a good race, guys.
Cheers, buddy.
All right, welcome everyone watching the ANZCRL Le Mans 24 Hour Session 2. I'm your host, Woody Lizard, and or Neil Haynes, and alongside me, Rob Logan. Welcome, Rob.
G'day, Woody, Neil, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's going to be a ripper, this one, 2 hours, and we've had our staggered start, and unfortunately, Magic Mass in the car that I was driving was meant to leave at the green flag, but he got going and then stopped, so I don't know what happened there, but he's now running again. But just down a little bit from the leader of the GTE class of Sato.
Yes. I don't know if he stalled it or what there, but it did take him a while to get going.
Yeah, it sure did. So obviously with this here, it's obviously, because we split this race up for the viewers watching, it's split up into 4 sessions, and we have a time compression in between the breaks of sessions 1 and 2, and then 3, then 2 and 3, and 3 and 4. and that brings the field a little bit closer together. So for an argument's sake, the Unicorn, who is currently last at this stage, he was about a minute and a half, a lap and a half behind the leading LMPD or LMDH car of Dark Racing, and that would have been about close to 4 minutes 40. He was behind Darky, and he only had a wait time of 1 minute and 3 seconds to resume this session. So sort of compresses the field, keeps everyone in the hunt. The further behind you are, the better, the more closer you are to the car behind than what you were previous session. And the cars that were close to one another basically start pretty close to what it was, maybe 4 or 5 seconds difference.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a good little battle here. Kempy obviously starting a little bit behind, but he was, I think he was close to a minute behind Night Pegasus in the last session, but had a 17-second wait, I think it was, for this start of this race.
Uh-huh.
And he's sort of keeping that margin, I think, from Night Pegasus, or even out once he gets through past the GTE, I think. We can sort of see. But
Yep.
There's Sato, the leading GTE car, your car as well.
Yep.
We'll see Dado in that car alongside Sato. Sato doing both. Double stints, getting that over and done with on Saturday. And I believe you're doing both tomorrow.
I certainly am.
Have you got any anything planned for tomorrow or anything like that? Have you been working on any strategies? You probably don't want to tell me because I'm actually in the team as well. So we probably won't go down that path, actually.
Oh, I can, to a degree. Well, I've done all my homework and I'm just going to race.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, nothing else I need to do except just race.
Yeah, that's what I thought it'd be. Very diplomatic comment there. So we're going to go all out balls rolling here for our session. So I think that we'll hopefully see that Magic Mass, he's put himself a bit of a deficit. So he's going to have to try and close that. He should have actually been in front of Sato when you're looking at that. Currently in 8th overall.
Exactly.
So we'll see how he goes there. But how good's Night Pegasus going? He was a maybe to enter this event, Rob, and he's killing it.
Yeah. I G'd him up slightly too. When he said he might be able to play, I said, good on you, mate.
Yeah, and that's what we want. So any of the viewers watching, please let us know if the audio seems okay. It's sort of transitioned from when I used to use the Twitch studio now to using the OBS, so things may not be quite right. So I'm only new to doing this on OBS, so if there's any changes, let us know and we'll try and see if we can fiddle around with a few things. But other than that.
So, Woody, you can see if anyone's watching or not on that new system.
Yeah, there's a couple of viewers watching, so obviously if there's any teammates watching, let us know. We can concentrate and watch and show your teammate driving there, or someone you want to support. Unfortunately, Mitch, who finished, he didn't quite get to the end of the first session, and we actually he was about 7 laps down, and that's another one about the time compression. He was 7 laps down, I was 6 laps down actually on the GTE leader, myself at the time, and that would have put him with a wait time. Oh, we just saw your car in the wall, and
You're kidding.
Lou has also had a spin too. So Sato, and does look like he's got some damage there. So
that's a pit.
Yeah, that's not good there. So apparently we're a little bit quiet, apparently, the commentators. Or the other commentator is a bit quiet. So I might have to try and bump you up. So hang on for a sec. We'll do that. So this isn't looking good for yourselves there, Dado.
No, but the only advantage we got, it's a 2-hour race instead of 1. So hopefully he needs to pit. I mean, you're going to get bugger all fuel on now, but that's how it is, I guess.
Yeah, it sure is. Nothing I can really do with those voice. I might try one more thing to try and do here to get this your voice up a little bit. So we'll pause on the screen for a second, guys. Sorry, while I do this.
Very good.
Okay, so that might be a little bit better. We'll see.
There's a bit of a stoppage here, I believe. Looks a fair bit of damage. Looks like mainly front end.
Yeah, it
Probably
sure
30
is.
seconds repair. Yeah.
Yeah, long race though, as we know in this session, and obviously using that time compression that we've just sort of given a little bit the introduction to how it's working, because obviously we don't do driver swaps here in the game. You can't do it on Automobilista 2. So this is the way that we've been able to do it. And it works pretty good, because otherwise what would happen, Dado, look, imagine that if you didn't use a time compression formula, like Unicorn would have had to wait, as we said, about 4 minutes before he got going. If Mitch returned, he'd have to be 6 laps down before he could go. It'll just be, why would you turn up again, sort of thing.
Well, exactly. It'd just be scattered cars everywhere. Well, Sado, our car looks ugly. As long as it goes fast. Now, Magic Mass is back to where he should be, virtually. Pretty close to it.
Well, he's got Night
Still
Havoc.
Yeah, he's still got, 8 seconds or so?
Yeah. Something like that, yeah. And he's pretty fast though. He's just did a 3:48 that previous lap.
That's good.
To compare to Night Havoc's 3:51, so making inroads. I tell you what though, the dark racing in that Porsche, they look like they're going to be unstoppable, because he's got another fast driver coming in to take control tomorrow in Longy.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Darky looks fast, but when Lonnie gets in there, it's going to look really fast.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you could well and truly, like if he gets a good margin here, Darky over, which is effectively Truey, 84, who was Pixel. Pixel drove really good in that first session too. Finished about 20 odd seconds behind Darky, so sort of had some good pace. Just couldn't keep up with Darky though, unfortunately. So, but if Truey can sort of minimise his gap as best he can, he's still going to put some pressure on Longy, but I think Longy's going to be almost on cruise control, you could almost say.
I'd reckon.
The reason why I say that is because he's basically tried every single one of the LMDHs without much tuning at all. And in practice, he was getting them into 3 minutes 24 seconds for a lap. And that was across all 3 cars. So the Porsche, the BMW, and also the Cadillac. And his favourite that he really likes is the Cadillac. He reckons he could do a 3:22 or something like that in the Caddy.
Well, he can. We can't.
Yeah, that's right. So this is for actually overall, actually on track position here.
Yeah. And Kempy's going pretty good here. Because he's up against the he's up against the LMDH, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he sure is. And maybe he just ran out of his battery as well. We have heard that if you don't change your battery deployment and you've kept it on attack, it'll only last for one lap, and then you pretty much, you struggle. And this is why maybe the DPI is sort of coming at Truey at this stage. Yeah.
He's got a bit of slipstream in here too.
Yeah, it's looking
They
really
sound
good.
good about those, don't they?
Oh, they sure do.
There. Deep V8.
And this session here, we're going to see us go right through the night as well. So it's early evening at the moment. The sun's still up. European summer. So obviously it's shorter night, but obviously longer days. So we're going to see the sun go down probably around about 9 p.m. In the game, and then it'll run through right through till 4 o'clock in the morning. So we're going to have a good night session here to enjoy. And maybe try and get on the roof cam. The roof cam will be looking pretty good, I reckon.
That's what I tried.
Yeah. And listen to the sound of the Cadillac DPI. It's a beautiful sounding car.
Isn't it?
And we've got Grogan Oz here saying he's Dado's biggest fan. So I don't know if you know Grogan or if you've paid him some money there, Rob. But obviously there's someone there supporting. And,
That's his son.
Oh, there you go. So he's definitely looking forward to seeing if Sado, who's unfortunately put in the war, can make amends and make his way back up and close that gap. And luckily we've got that time compression formula, which will obviously bring you back in the hunt in the morning.
Sure.
But obviously Sado's going to have to work pretty hard here and try and make everything work for him. Not too sure how he's going to go with a strategy for pit stops as well. We know that the cars last for around about 43 minutes or so in the GTEs. Looks like the Cadillac can go one extra lap over the BMW. I'm not too sure about the Porsche when they pitted in that first session, if they
No,
pitted at the same
I
time.
think they pitted with us. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely going to be interesting to see how we can reel him in, because I actually had the feeling in that hour session, Dado, and I'll let you in a little secret here, that I almost thought that I could almost just double stint those tyres, because you only need an extra 18 minutes to run on the set of tyres, and if you haven't had a big lockup, they're still pulling the times. I actually got my fastest lap on the second last lap before I came in from a pit stop, so the tyres were still going pretty good. But I thought just topping up with a bit of fuel, you save that little bit of extra time, because as Chewy goes straight through the final lots of chicane, goes through that one again. So
Here's a chance.
yeah, so this is Kempy up on that position on Chewy, and I think Chewy was playing smart there, to be honest, because he might have avoided track cuts by getting in behind Kempy. If he came out in front of Kempy, he probably would have got a track cut, maybe two.
Maybe. Well, that or damage. Playing just to being defensive so you don't get a hit.
Yeah, true. That's also a good point too. And we've got Bonsai as well. He's Night Havoc's fan. So it's good to see some fans here watching their buddies out on tracks.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome to those guys. Obviously, a little bit low on numbers. We did have 10 originally. Well, we have had a possibility of 11 drivers cars on track, but had a couple of the Europeans not show, so that's been a bit unfortunate. But as we said, Mitch hasn't been able to back up. He was trying to do this whole 24 hours. Mitch Kemp solo, just like Night Pegasus and also Kemp 714, but just had a little bit of ill health, so he's just not been able to back it up for this 2-hour session. So hopefully, if you're watching Mitch, hopefully you're going to get better and you'll be okay for the morning for session 3, and see how you go through that run.
Definitely.
Oh,
Your mate
no.
just did a 47, but he's had a spin too.
He's had
No
a
damage,
spin.
but
It doesn't look
damage.
like he's taken some bollards. The bollards rolling down the road here.
Yep. No, he's unscathed, I think.
So that's a little bit of pressure there. He's been obviously chasing Night Havoc. Night Havoc's down the road here. You can see on the map the red and white dots of the cars that are on the same lap of the car that we're watching. Doesn't that Porsche look good though with Night Havoc and
Isn't
Bouquet?
it?
Yeah,
Little screamer.
it is a screamer, that's for sure.
He's under. Well, they gave him a bit of breathing space with that spin.
Yeah, it sure did. And, and that's just getting Night Havoc comfortable as well. And Night Havoc's another driver that's sort of battling a few little injuries here and there as well, but he's a really solid driver, so good to see him out here. This might be his last sim race he's going to be able to do before he might need a little operation procedure done.
Okay.
So he's grabbing this with both hands, basically, and hopefully everything goes well for it.
Good on him. A very consistent driver. Very. He's popped in a 49 there, which is good.
Look at the flames coming out of the back of that Porsche. Doesn't that look
Yeah.
good?
Oh, yeah.
And Slide Science, yes, he loves the Porsche. We're well and truly aware how Slide just has this love for the Porsche.
We all know that one.
It goes without saying, really. Now,
Yeah.
this damage is still there. It might be just game. It's not flapping around, so it's definitely been repaired from when
Yeah.
Sato did go into that wall. So he shouldn't really be feeling any effects here.
Nah,
It's
I think
just
the
a
boys
visual.
They jumped on the bonnet, and that's the best they could do. But mechanically, I think she's sound. Well, he popped a 49, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah, anything under 50 race pace means
Yep.
you're going for it. You know, you're concentrating. You're putting in some good lap times here. So Lou's now got onto the back of Magic. So it's taken a while for Lou to actually get into the back of the GTEs here. So obviously she's had a little bit of a moment, partnering up with Stu. Stu did an outstanding job as well for the opening
He
session.
did. He got third, didn't he?
Yeah, sure did. Obviously, a few little nerves, though. You know, it's a big event, this. 6 hours worth of racing overall. And we do it all within a 24-hour period, so there's a relevance to the 24-hour.
Yeah, the two are still neck and neck. Two different cars.
Yeah, sure is. But the thing is, as well, we did see in that first session how the DPIs need a pit almost right on the 30-minute mark, Rob. So
True.
we're going to see them in at least 3 times in this race, basically every half hour. And how Night Pegasus actually got through with only one pit stop in the opening session was he was using the clutch down the straight or coming into the corner. It's like he was clutching it to avoid using up all the fuel. And I think he finished with, did he say 1 litre? I think it was.
It wasn't much, but he did well to do it. He did well.
So if there was that one extra lap in that 1 hour session, which wasn't going to happen because, Darky was probably still half a lap to go when it actually ran the time up of the hour. But that could be a telling point in this 2-hour race. There's a possibility here that 1 extra lap might come into play. And if it does, these DPIs may have to come in for a little splash and dash right at the end.
No, this is true. Because, 2 hours is a big difference to one.
Or do they drive a bit smart and just, coast a little bit, fuel save in a few of their runs,
Maybe. I guess it depends where you're sitting. If you're sitting in a comfortable spot, you do it. If you have to chase, well, I don't know what I'd do.
Yeah, it's a shame we only got the 2 DPIs. It would have been nice to have 4 of them as well because, as you said, then you definitely have to think about, are you going to chase or are you going to conserve? Because only having the 2 there, it's, they're still fighting one another, but, yeah, it's just not, throw an extra 2. Definitely would have been interesting.
Magic's had a 358 there. He must have had a little bit of a moment.
Yeah, just pushing it a little bit hard.
Car's clean. If you've got a clean car, you're halfway there.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I noticed in mine in a practice, I had about 6 on the front aero and I just lacked speed down the straights, which is everything here.
Yeah, top speed. You really need that speed. It's a real must.
So after talking to me, Woody, you took some wing off, did you? Obviously.
Well, not as much as what Magic Mass is running, I believe. I think I'm running 2 in the Corvette. I think he's got it down to 1. So, but yeah, we definitely did take the wing down, but it was also the gearing. Magic had done some gearing on the car, which he hadn't shared with me. So once I put that gearing in, we got obviously over the 300 down the straights, which we were lacking with the previous setup that I had.
Very important, the gearing in this place.
Yeah, it sure is. So the drivers were starting to probably get into this the zone now and just getting immersed in the whole environment out there with the sun starting to go down. We can start seeing those long shadows of the cars. And Lou's, as we can just see here, so the leading car of the GTs of Night Havoc is doing really good. And yeah, just about to have Lou come and overtake for position here, which will then bring that LMDH back up in the order where it should be. But we've still got the Unicorn too, still coming on through. So he'll take his time because, he, as we said, he had a minute wait. So it'll take a while for him to probably get through the GTEs.
Another thing too, Woody, track cuts. Only 3 in 2 hours. You got to be a little bit careful.
Oh, you sure do. You know, people are going to get a little bit tired, a little bit, the car might, wrestle. They might have to wrestle the car. They might not get it right. And how good does this sound? Look at Lou just using that battery power and the raw pace of this BMW LMDH car to take Night Havoc. All lit up like a Christmas tree here in the dash. Oh, a bit of a lock up there by the looks of things on those lights. So obviously the front right was locked up coming into that corner. Not hard to do at all when you're pushing.
Held it well, but
yeah, very good driving. And it's so quiet here in this Porsche. But listen to it outside. It squeals.
that
And
does.
It's really good in the game too. Have a look at the side of his door. You got the lights and the red light up the top means he's in first position. If we have a look at Magic Mass at one stage, of course he's second. He'll have the red dot in the middle, below the one up the top. So it's a way to identify what cars come in first, especially when we start going into the night. You can sort of tell if you're a fan on the circuit that car's first, second, or third.
Oh, that's in the on top of the roof.
No, just on the door. Should be on the door. You should see it on the door here, just behind you.
There.
Yeah, so you got the 3 dots.
Yep.
The top one means first, second one below that is second, and obviously third. So if no lights are on, it means that you're not first, second, or third in class.
.348 by Sato, good. He's got some time to make up, but it's a long way to go.
Night Pegasus will be loving this second position, and he's got what's the drop margin? He's got 28 seconds from Kemp, and he's slowly pulling away from that. So yeah, that'll be a good feeling for Pegasus at the moment.
Yeah. Plus he's got the track to himself.
He sure does, and
no battling.
We'll be expecting him to come in though in the next 3 minutes for one of his pit stops. So that'll put him down the order, shuffle him down a bit.
We can't see fuel, can we?
No, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, he's got 11.8, 11.7.
Yeah, it's different on my screen, so there is a difference. I've got 8.5 on mine, so obviously what the viewers are seeing a bit different to what you're seeing as well. So it's not working. It's just a glitch. The numbers will still go down. It looks like there's some fuel there, but is it 11 or is it 8? We don't know. So it'll be somewhere around there probably.
We'll find out soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Whichever one it is, he's got to stop, I think. If that's reading reasonably true.
That's one thing that I think we've commented on it before, Rob, in streams when we did other races where we're back in Project Cars. We used to be able to bring up the tacho and fuel, and we could actually see how much fuel everyone was running, and if cars had pushed to pass, how many they've used and all that. But apparently, it just didn't transition over into this game, unfortunately. So It'd be good if they could
Shame.
try and bring it back because it does make it good for commentary and viewers like to know. You know, especially these longest type of racing, like how much fuel, when will they pit, you know?
Well, it brings the whole scenario together instead of guessing.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and then you get some people that have got, you know, they might pit mid tanks as well, get some fresh tyres on. Might be a strategy call where we sort of won't really know that because we can't actually get a fuel figure. But anyway, that's okay. We've got some action there on track here. Looking at Darky, the leader of this race. He hasn't had much screen time at all, but absolutely killing here. I think that's a Penske livery of the Porsche
Yeah, not
LMDH.
sure. Oh yeah, says Penske. Yeah.
So he's also streaming his own point of view as well, Dark Racing on Twitch. So you can search him up and you could be watching his view of the race. And while you're looking at his view, why don't you type down and let us know how much fuel he's got in his car so we can, you know, whatever you've seen his will be what he's seen. So it'll be a correct fuel number.
That's true. Now your teammates popped a 46 in.
Yeah, oh, well, look, I can't even manage. I think a 47 is the best I can get out of it. And here he's in race pace doing a 46.9. So things are looking good.
Very naughty.
And there's Night Pegasus in. So with only at just not even 29 minutes, so he's in.
Look, we got more problems. I saw a 355 and I thought that's not normal. He's given me some work, isn't he?
Yeah, he sure is. I'm not too sure because he was fairly straight, I think, in the hour session. So
Yeah. Not sure what's happened there.
hopefully all things are okay as far as screens, that they're not glitching, or you know what can happen sometimes if you get a little screen freeze, or something happens there, can obviously put you in a war. So hopefully they're having no issues.
Got rid of the journey of the pitch yet.
Yeah, he's only on that back straight, so going the Moose Lane straight and coming up to the Moose Lane hairpin. So yeah, he's got a long way to go, and Darky is about to put a lap on him. As Kemp comes in as well for his mandatory stop for fuel. You can see there the shadows have really come over the pit lane too from the grandstands.
Yep, she's darkening. Or Pegasus might be in now.
Well, Pegasus has
Very
already
soon.
been in. No, he came in. When we were just going on about seeing Sado's accident, I believe that's when Night Pegasus was coming in. So he came in just before the 30-minute mark. So, yeah, there's going to be a telling question with his fuel. But if they run really hard, I guess, the splash and dash might be with 2 or 3 laps remaining of this 2-hour session. So maybe not too bad, but if they want to try and only keep it to 3 stops, they're going to have to start fuel saving from this point in, I reckon. Like just lift and coast for a few laps.
Yeah.
The driver might benefit because he started later too. He's actually campy as well. Because when you think about it, Night Pegasus went at the green. Campy waited for a little bit, so the time was ticking by, and he's obviously a little bit further behind Night Pegasus, but if he can start saving his fuel and Pegasus doesn't opt to do that, there could be a change just at the end, and if Kempy can actually get through with the 3 stops, and Pegasus, as we know, has to have a quick fuel splash and dash, Kempy could end up leading class here before we start session 3 in the morning.
Screwing up.
Now, what's the BMW talking to you here, Dado? Oh,
what?
mate, he's not going in the pits here. So maybe it's not actually. Well, he did do a 355 as you said, so that's really, well there you go. He's done a 352, so he's got some damage there, slowing him down. I don't know why. Maybe he's just trying to work out if he pitted now, he may not be able to get to the end. Like he's probably working it out that if he tries to extend it so he doesn't get that extra pit stop,
Yeah, possibly, but if you watch the bonnet, I think I can understand what he's trying to say. I have stuffed my car. Yeah, that's it.
Oh dear. Look, race is definitely not over. Oh, yeah,
Ooh.
so he's definitely struggling.
We'll go somewhere else now. That's scary.
Yeah, it is a little bit scary seeing that.
This
But,
is this is clean as. Look at it. Clean
Yeah,
as hell.
and there in the background is position
Yeah.
2 of the GTEs of Magic Mass. So he's taken him a while to catch up to the back after stalling or doing something at the start of the race. He was meant to go at the green. Did get
Oh,
going.
he had one spin as well, and he's still chasing it. Yeah. Fast boy, that.
Yeah, definitely looking good.
So, Woody, you doing the third session or fourth?
No, I'll be doing the third session.
Right.
I think, and then Magic will do the little hour at the end. So we sort of basically share the driving, both doing 3 hours each.
Got ya.
He was at work this afternoon, so that's why he couldn't do the start. And didn't really feel up to doing the morning one in the morning, so he might be a late riser.
Yeah, sounds like me.
Well, we might have to get your alarm bells on ready for the morning, though. It is at 9:30, I believe. I think it is.
That's comfortable. Yeah, that's comfortable.
So it shouldn't be too bad.
All right, so I'll have a battle here shortly between those two guys. What's Lou doing? He's not
Oh, it
too
is.
far off.
Oh,
Oh,
that's a little bounce that came up on my screen there. I don't know if it came on your screen, but
it certainly did. Curb.
curb jumping
Yep.
to the extreme. But Lou's doing
Yeah.
a good job. She's probably fighting off her kids at the same time. They're usually giving her an earful while she's racing, so she does a pretty good job. Maybe they should be watching the Twitch stream. They could let us know, what's actually happening.
100%.
In
Family life.
Yeah, in the Lou household. What did they have for dinner? Did they even have dinner? Did Lou even get time to feed the kids?
That's a question he can only answer.
She.
Or she can only answer, I should say.
That's right. Yeah, I'm mildly impressed by Kempy here. He's 37. I think, what did we say? 17 seconds, I think it was a wait time. I'll just double check that, confirm that.
But
Yeah, 17 seconds he had of a wait time. So he's lost, obviously, by looking at that graph there, 20 seconds from Night Pegasus.
Yeah.
But I think his pace is a lot faster. I think he's actually found a little bit more. And, that's the thing. A lot of these drivers, some have done a lot of practice, some haven't done much practice. So you'll actually probably see the ones, obviously, I haven't had the time to be able to practice. Their times are going to start dropping.
Yep.
And by the end, they're
Definitely.
they're definitely going to have that extra, they may be a second or 2 seconds faster from when they first started their first session.
So Drury's jumped on top of Pegasus. Is that from pitting?
Yeah, definitely. These LMDHs, they'll be expected to come in very shortly, I think. So they're around that 40-minute mark. So we'll wait to see. Darky will obviously be the first one. I'm not too sure if they're all burning fuel roughly the same. This is where it's only on my graphic. He's got 51 litres of fuel. Now that won't be right. We know that.
47 I saw.
Yeah. So even so, that's way too much to. But they'd be almost empty, I'd say.
Yeah.
Trying to find where his fuel is on this one. Jeez, it's a fancy
Can't
cash.
see it. Oh, 26 he's got, they say.
Yeah, so there you go. Maybe get on the roof and we could actually see that the night sky as well starting to. The sun's definitely dropped now. We've got the nice hue of the pink hue going on in the sky.
Yep, lights are showing up on the track.
And you notice the party shelter a little bit further up before I think we go to the Porsche curves. Or around there
check
somewhere.
it out now.
Yeah. Well, the sun is still a little bit of a glare there. It's probably just hitting down the base of the horizon. Actually, the party shelter, I think, might be... I don't know if it's just... No, it's not here, actually. I don't know if it's on the exit of here, or... I think it's actually on the entry to the Porsche curves, maybe.
We'll hang here and find out.
Yeah. Definitely we'll see it at night. But we'll stay on board of Darky because this will be show us if he's actually coming in this lap as well, if he's going to get one more lap. But yeah, I think it's just there on the left. There's a big stage there with pink and purple lights. Look at this. He's flying through here, isn't he?
They're fast. Is that a party area?
Yeah, no, I think it was back there a little bit further. We'll definitely see it as it goes it goes dark. Sorry, the lights are all really shine. And I thought he was coming in. He jinxed us.
He did that on purpose.
Yeah, I think so. So I'd say he'll be in this next lap after this. Like this will be his final lap, and he'll have to come in for fuel. Doesn't that BMW look good with the lights on the front?
Yeah, they look good.
Yeah, so Kempy's actually pulling away from him too. 11 seconds from Lou. Or is Lou catching? Lou might be Lou is actually catching. Sorry, she's only 36.7 compared to 37 flat. So not that much faster. Yeah, he's actually gone through this part here already. So he's heading down towards, there he is. Heading down to here to the Mulane hairpin, I think it is, if we're right. Yeah. Be a tricky corner. You can pitch your inside brake, can't you? Just when you it gets a bit light on the turn. Yep. You're turning in there, hitting the brake, and yeah, if you carry that speed.
The brakes have got no ABS either, so it's a lot of foot control. I find.
Definitely.
I think your brakes are better than the BMs. Me and Sato both struggle with them. Sato's in the pits.
Yeah, so this would be, if he came in for damage, surely he'd put some fuel in, but this puts him back a little bit earlier than what he would have normally pitted for his first stop.
Yeah. Well, he's got a different fuel scenario now, which may benefit at the end, but it's a long haul. It's a long haul now.
He's still got one stop to make, though, before the end of this race, definitely. So,
yep, for sure.
It actually works out pretty good. What do we got? Hour 20 just under. So he's pretty good to go flat out 40-minute run. So I think what did he do? He did about a 40-minute run before he pitted on the first session, I think it was, maybe just after. Maybe got 42 minutes out of it, something like that. So he's right there where he'll get away with one stop, as long as Darky doesn't have to do one of those extra laps, depending on the time.
Okay.
But the Unicorn now finds himself up there in 8th position and slowly getting onto the back of Magic Mass now. So 16 seconds away from Magic. And Magic, I think, is right near on the back of the leader for GTE of Night Havoc.
You bet.
So here we go. So it's only taken him 42 minutes to get to the back of the leading GTE car.
Night Havoc won't challenge this either at this stage.
Oh yeah, well they're getting close to their stops of fuel. So I reckon Night Havoc may even be coming in this lap, and as we know, the Corvette seems to do one extra lap, so should be right for the extra lap of fuel. So let's see what happens here. Riding on board Night Havoc in the Porsche. And look at the shadows from the lights from the car behind the Magic Mass showing on the road. No, he's out.
He's got another maybe 1 or 2 laps in him by that fuel.
Yeah, so Will, this will be Darky's in the pit, so the leading LMDH is in, locking up as he comes in. So he's pushing for him to be locking up coming in. Rob, he's definitely, you know, he's got the grip between the teeth. He wants to give Longy the biggest lead that he can give him, basically.
Well, he's doing a fine job.
Going for the big domination, you could say.
What's happening
And
there?
we have to also mention how good, like Darky, he's the only driver to actually win. He's won 3 events here of the Le Mans 24-hour, I believe. And he could have actually won 4, I think. I'll have to double check that record. I'll do that before tomorrow's session. But
Done well.
he's won on Project Cars. He won in every single car of the LMHs, the
That's
hybrids. He won in the Toyota, the
Yep.
Audi, and the Porsche. And also a recipient of the ANZCRL Triple Crown by winning the Le Mans 24-hour. And we had the Bathurst 1000. We've changed the Triple Crown for AMS2, but we had the Bathurst 1000 and also the Indy 500. So he's picked that up. Sado has picked it up. And the other driver that picked it up, I believe, was not Uncrewed Squid. I'm trying to think of his teammate.
Chaz.
Yeah, Shaz won it.
Yeah.
He was the inaugural winner of the Triple Crown. So nowadays we've got the full-on real-life Triple Crown, which is the Monaco Grand Prix on an AMS2. Le Mans, because it's come into the game, is part of the Triple Crown. And obviously the Indy 500. So Christopher Razor took that out this year, Dado,
He did.
in fine form. High as a kite on medication.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to look into that.
Yeah, I think there should be investigation. But look at this. This is a great little battle. This is a battle into the pit lane, I reckon. I think Night Havoc will be coming in this lap. Magic may take the opportunity to do one extra lap and jump him in the pit cycle.
Saying 2.4. I hope he makes it.
Well, I don't think that's right. That's our fuel number.
Just trying to excite you, Woody.
Yeah. My fuel's, our fuel that we're watching here on the stream is 0. He's got nothing in the tank. So Truey's in as well. So that will... Oh, he's actually just leaving the pit lane after having the pit. So Lou's come in as well. So that's all the LMDHs. The Unicorn should be coming in this time around as well. So tell us, how is the BMW fuel tank 96 litres? Do you know off the top of your head, or is it less than that?
Only 93.
Right,
Smallest tank out of them all.
Right, so yeah, 96 litres in this car here, the car 17,
Yep.
Osneki Racing.
Porsche's got 97.
Ah, there you go.
They'd have to be looking at a stop here, surely.
So it's funny though that before Magic Mass actually got in contact with me to say, oh, do you want to team up? I actually had the BMW myself as well. Oh,
Did
so
you?
Magic's in.
Okay.
Yeah, so but he said, oh, I really want to drive the Cadillac. I went, oh, okay, we'll give it a go. And yeah, it's been a fun car to drive. Trying to get on top of it. There's obviously the base. I think all the stock setups aren't probably the ideal here at Le Mans. The gearing's wrong, and
For sure.
they max out the speed without getting up to 300. You really need to get 300 kilometres an hour in these cars. So anyone watching and thinking, oh, are we competitive enough? Well, if you can make 300 down the Muse Lane straight, I'd say you are. It's basically then
Definitely.
controlling through the corners, getting your line in. But if you can't reach 300, you're going to struggle. It doesn't matter how much quicker you are through the corners. It's outright pace around this track, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh, outright speed, I should say, not pace, but speed is what you need.
Yep. I've sacrificed a bit of handling just for straight line speed in our car.
Yeah, how dicey is it through the Porsche curves though, with the low wings and everything we're running? They're very skittish.
A different way of driving through there, that's for sure.
But you've got to compromise, see. So I think most of the circuit it's okay, but those Porsche curves are probably the part where you're going to come undone, if anything, if you push
Yep.
too hard.
Just got to take your time in that section and stay on track.
Yeah.
Just give me a couple of minutes, Woody. I'm just going to...
Yeah, no worries. We'll keep on Magic Mass here, see what he's going to do, because very shortly we will have the leading car of the GTE's Night Havoc coming into the pit lane, and we may... Actually, you still there, Dado?
Yeah.
Maybe put it on Night Havoc for us,
Yeah.
because that way there we can see when he comes in and where he comes out when he does. So, yeah, and he's right here with Lou, right behind him. So this is for position on track as well. So here comes
If
Lou.
he can get behind him and get a draft and increase. That's what I'll be doing, jumping straight behind him.
Yeah, he might lose this draft though coming out of the corner, because I'd say Lou will just get that power
late.
on. But yeah, go and have your break, Dado, and we'll see
Okay.
you when you get back very shortly. Oh, Lou's gone wide though at the Muse Lane
Oh.
hairpin, so it brings back Night Havoc. So that draft that he wanted, maybe just to help with fuel, he's not going to have it, but
No.
he'll have it very shortly now. I think Lou should get him.
Back in a sec.
All right. So we've still got just over about 71 minutes remaining of this race. And that'll end the racing for the night. We'll be halfway through the race. That'll be 3 hours under our belt and simulating a full 12 hours of track time in the game. As Lou is probably giving Night Havoc just a little bit of a helping hand anywhere you can to try and conserve that little bit of extra fuel. But we're going to see the class leader of the GTEs pitting this lap around, and we'll see where he comes out compared to Magic Mass in second position in class, currently 8th on the road. So again, he doesn't come in this time around. So he's fooling everyone. Oh, no, here he does. He comes in now. I had one corner too early. So here he goes. Let's make sure he gets to 60 Ks. The brake lights are on. You can see in the background there, and off early. So obviously plenty of time, bit of room for him. So he didn't attack the 60K line. It's probably a safe thing to do. You don't want to get any sort of time penalties, so drive through from speeding. So there he goes. So I'd say Magic Mass is the car going through the Porsche curves on the map now, around about 7 o'clock. Thinking of a clock dial. So it's going to be close. Obviously, more fuel has to go in for Night Havoc as well. Not much more, but obviously going to be stationary probably that little bit longer than what Magic had to, and Magic was right on him when Magic came into pit lane. So he's free to go. Maybe he's got damage repair on. It could be engine. He's been held for that little bit longer, so obviously that's one thing that some users forget. They keep mechanical damage repair, and there goes Magic Mass to take the lead of the GTE. There he goes in the back, in the foreground, or the background, I should say there. So you can see the two lights on there. So he's obviously coming second, Night Havoc.
Well, that was a bit of a fail in the pits, I'd say.
Yeah, I think that he obviously might have had engine damage or something still on, so he was held there for a little bit. So obviously they were repairing, or could have been some aero. Maybe he's had a touch to someone,
Maybe.
or who
Maybe.
knows. But just held for that little bit longer. And I think he may have had a rear end, because the lights are now working on the back of that Porsche where they weren't working before. So maybe he did have someone rear end him a little bit with a tag. So.
Well, if you got a light out, there's definitely a sign of something there.
So there's the leader of the GTEs now, Magic Mass, in our car, in my car I should say, alongside
Sure.
With us, Woody Lizard and Magic Mass in for Ozneki Racing. But far from over. I think I'll struggle, to be honest. Oh, slowing
What's
car
happening
here.
here?
That's very slow by night, Pegasus.
Something going on.
I think he's trying to conserve fuel. Something, he's clutching it. So remember, he pitted earlier. So he's clutching so he doesn't run out of fuel here.
Well, he's got it in a pretty low gear, if that's the case. Oh, I think
He's got damage.
he's got mechanical problems.
So this is a big turning point here. So where Kempy's obviously taken that place, he's still got a long way to go. So it doesn't look like any damage. Is there any damage on his car? Didn't look like it. Oh, yes, there is.
Where?
Down the side, it looks like on my screen. But
Oh, yeah.
he's had a
wouldn't
scrape
think that.
somewhere, but he's got all wheels, so maybe he's actually missing a wheel. The sound of that, do you know when you lose a wheel and you're trying to drive and you get that, you know, over rev?
Hmm.
Showing wheels for us, but obviously hopefully he doesn't get any terminal engine damage here by overheating. Still running.
Interesting. He'll be in there a while by the look of it.
Yeah, be interesting to find out what actually happened here, because this is a big thing, because he was coming second outright. And that's a big thing for a DPI, but we've also got Kempy now in the DPI still running second overall. Come on, we're all cheering for you, Pegasus. Let's get there. You're not there yet.
It sounds like a clutch.
Yeah, and if it is a clutch, I don't know if they're going to... I don't know if they fix clutches. I don't know if they do.
I know. You have to set it to fix all.
Yeah, well, let's hope, because I know when I blew a clutch one time in that for the Bathurst 1000, I think I tried to get back in the pits or something. Actually, I couldn't get in the pits, so I couldn't see if they would fix the clutch, actually. So let's hope that they can get repairs done here.
He's not even there yet. He's not even to his pit bay.
Yeah, something's
What's going
weird.
on?
He's rolling back here. Now he's going a bit forward.
It sounds like a clutch to me.
Yeah, he's
Uh-oh,
blown.
He's ghosting.
Yeah, he's blown the engine. So obviously
Gone.
clutch or something. So we may get some info from him. So that's unfortunate for the man that was coming second, clearly outright, and was looking pretty good. So let's see how Sado now. What's his margin to? Obviously, we'll wait till he goes past Night Pegasus and see how far he is from the Unicorn. I think if the timing's right, he's about a minute behind. But then the Unicorn's showing less time than Night Havoc is.
Yeah.
So
The
the
timing
timing's...
seemed to need to reset after every lap for some reason.
Yeah, so unfortunately it looks like Night Pegasus is going to go no more further, but 21 seconds is the margin between himself and the Unicorn. So Sado's on the hunt.
He's only doing a 53 too, so the car seems to be struggling in my eyes.
Yeah, it does. So let me just the screen might be go pause for a second. I'm going to just see if we can try and get Night Pegasus into the chat channel. I mean into
Sure.
the comms box, and we can find out actually what happened. Hey, Night Pegasus, I don't know if you're still there, but we've brought you into the broadcast booth. What's gone on?
Oh, mate. I don't know. I had a spin out of Arnage into the wall and did some damage, and then I had no drive.
That's what we thought. Like your clutch is blown.
So it's 6, even like in gear, the most I could do was 70, and then I nursed it all the way back to the pits, and I was just checking my strategy, and right before the pit box, the engine blew, and I couldn't get in.
Oh,
We saw that. We were on you the whole time. Oh, Sato's had an echo.
Yeah, but
Oh, he
that was
smoked.
but that was down
Oh,
the
the-
straight. So that was something. That was a little bit of netco. That was weird.
Yeah, it was weird. Like mate, I lost the rear. I haven't spun like that. You know, in the whole all the time I've been practicing and racing.
And
And yeah, but it just hit the wall, and then that was it. And then I'm nursing it back. Water temperature, oil temperature's like climbing. But on my engine, it was saying I only had 6 damage as I pulled up to the pits, and then yeah.
oh, that's a shame because yeah, you did nurse it. You did see you get into the pit lane, and it looked like that you were just short of your pit bay, and then you started rolling back, and then you tried to get going again, and that was it. All she wrote, she blew on you. But
Yeah.
what a tough one. So was the lobby okay though? Was everyone seemed to be going okay? No one's having some issues or anything like that? Because seems to be a few guys having. I don't know if there's been a few cars having a few little accidents. I'm not too sure if there's been some screen freezes or anything, or everyone's been
Oh,
okay.
apparently Sato forgot to put tyres on at the last stop.
Right, I'm in words with him.
Yeah, well, we
So-
just went into the wall we saw as well, but that was going down the straight. He did a little bit of a wobble and then straight into the wall, so I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, so I think it's just, I don't know, maybe it's the tyres. Like my tyres are only a quarter U, so I thought they were good, but I don't think they were. They
Yeah,
just lit up. So yeah, mate, that's hilarious. Like
yeah.
my guys couldn't even push me in.
No, that's a cruel part of the sim racing there, and you just didn't quite make the hour here. We're just about to cross over the hour. We've got 30 seconds remaining before we go into
Really?
our last hour. And it's going to be interesting to see when Kempy, so that's what I was just thinking. Kempy is in pit lane now, so he's keeping every 30 minutes roughly needing to pit. And
Yeah,
that's what
that's
we
the
wanted to
fuel.
ask you, Night Peggers. You pitted a little bit earlier, I thought, than what you did in the first session, or did you just didn't have enough
No.
fuel to get another lap in?
No, that was the fuel. That was the fuel limit.
Yeah, okay. So you would have had to do some fuel saving to try and only have 3 stops still.
Yeah, and I just thought would be flat out for the first 2 pit stops,
Yep.
and then like try and save for the last one.
Yeah, do some coasting
Yeah.
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, try and build a gap, like, because you could try and fuel save, and that might put you in a spot where you don't want to be. Whereas I thought, I could have managed that too because I had a gap on him, but I just thought, no, go flat out and build a gap, and then maybe get a pit stop on him. Anyway,
Yeah, tough luck because you're actually second outright too for a DPI. That's amazing.
Oh, mate.
So
know.
you've had some good pace there, and I think you'll sort of
spewing.
after the first we had a look at it. So Kempy had a 17-second wait, and then after about I think it was 45 minutes into the race, so probably 10 minutes ago, we had a look, and you'd basically pulled about 20 seconds extra gap on him. So you were pulling away from him each lap, but Kempy's got some pace out there at the moment too.
Yeah. Yeah, mate, would have been good. Would have been a good race, especially coming into the last pit stop, because I think maybe he's fuel saving, to try and get it there. So we would have come back together again at the end. But anyway, yeah, and being P2 outright, I was just like, I was trying not to dream, It was like, yeah, there's a chance there. But after the first session, that's what I thought. We were on for an overall podium here.
Yeah,
So-
definitely. So anyway, we're not too sure. Are we going to be able to see in the morning? We're not too sure if you've got to work or what you got to going on tomorrow. But if you can make it in the morning,
Yeah, I've got nothing on tomorrow.
it'll be good to see you. But obviously that time compression may just bring you back into the hunt to try and hunt down Kempy to get still the DPI win.
Yeah, mate. Well, then, look, anything can happen.
Definitely.
Right, exactly. He just showed us.
Yeah, it's never
Can
over.
happen. Can happen to anyone.
Yeah.
And that was the hard bit driving with the gap was like it ain't over, you know. So try and drive it in myself, and
Yeah.
I don't know, just that was so weird that exit to that corner. It's like I had no grip whatsoever. But yeah, anyway, I managed to back it into the garage, so I
Yeah,
don't have
nice.
to leave the lobby. So I'll just sit it here.
Yeah, or no worries. So if you want, you can stay in the comms box, or if you want to get up and have a break because you've been doing it quite a bit. You've been working all day today as well, so we understand.
Yep.
So yeah, you can stay in here if you want, or we can, you can
Oh, mate,
move
I'm
on.
gonna go and watch the footy.
No worries. Well, it's great to hear so that all the viewers could actually find out what actually happened there tonight. Pegasus second outright, and unfortunately clipped the wall out of Arnage, and then just couldn't get to the pits before the engine. He got to the pits, got to his bay, but just couldn't move that extra 10 metres that he needed, 5 metres if that, to see if the mechanics could fix his car. But hard luck, mate, and go and enjoy the football.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, guys. Have
See
a
ya.
good call.
Thank you.
There, mate.
What
Look at the
unlucky
state of
that was.
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
Oh, look at the state of my car.
I tell you what,
Look at it.
so Sato's not very comfortable at this stage in that car by the looks of things. Obviously, been
He's carrying damage.
yeah, but
Definitely carrying damage.
he's been sinking his teeth in iRacing a lot too, hasn't he? So obviously a little bit of a different feel in this game. We all know that, but yeah, it's
Solid as a rock, session 1, but
yeah, he
had
was.
only one spin, no damage.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to find out exactly if he's having some problems actually racing it at all. But evening, we've got Tim Lawson joining us as well in this on the stream. So welcome, Tim.
Hey, Tim.
Unfortunately, you've come in here just after Night Pegasus in the DPI was coming second outright, and unfortunately had a lose into the wall, and then wasn't able to. Or he did get to the pits, but just missed his pit bay before the engine gave up. So unfortunately, he has retired. And just a little bit of a catch-up as well. Mitch, who took the start of the race this afternoon, wasn't able to back it up due to a bit of ill health for the second session. So we're hoping he'll come back for the third. But Dark Racing has absolutely been blitzing it at the moment and really setting up for a Porsche victory here like they did in real life. I know it's a Ferrari actually that took victory in real life, I think, this year, to be, if memory serves me correct. But Darky's doing everything he can to reverse those results and have a Porsche take out victory here for ANZCRL. And Truey's now found himself up for Pixel, his teammate, in second. And Lou is in third, where Stu came third in the first session as well. So they're sort of in the positions that they were in now, Rob. So they started 1, 2, 3, the top three,
Yeah.
and that's where they are right now.
It's a good effort by all of them.
Yeah, it sure is. And the only real change, really, when you look at Aussie Kemp, obviously taking it because of Night Pegasus DNF at the moment, retirement, because Night Pegasus was started first in the DPIs for the resumption of Session 2. And then in the GTEs, we've got reversal for second. Sato was second.
Yep.
And he's now dropped to third. He's having a bit of a torrid time, but I tell you what, Night Havoc's doing a good job. It looks like he's only about 15 seconds or so behind. Actually, it looks like 20 seconds now on the top right. Shows us a little bit better. That's more accurate than the actual Christmas tree table on the left.
True. He's a solid driver, but look, the car looks like brand new. And he's still poking his nose in there.
Yeah, definitely. Doing 350s, which is real solid pace.
Yep.
Especially when you're looking at obviously Magic Mass. He's obviously the clear favourite here in that Osneki racing, doing 347s. I was managing roughly 349s, 350s. I was happy with 350s. I had to get into 349s when Sato was following me in that first session because, you know, he was putting the pressure. He was 2 to 3 seconds for the first 30 minutes behind me.
That was good to watch, actually. It was
yeah.
like to and fro, that lap after lap.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
even on his stream, he said, just he's so good out of that Porsche curves. But then we'd gain on the straight and lose a bit, gain a bit. But the times were really staying pretty much the same, but varying.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what's the beautiful thing is of this endurance racing too. You know, it's all about, you know, sprint races you can get away, you know, you can really push hard because it might be a 25-minute race or something like that. But try doing that for, you know, an hour or even a 2-hour session. You know, some drivers can do it, but I tell you what, it does take its toll. So you got to have that happy medium, I think, and you can be able to just drive to a number. And even though Sato wasn't right on the bumper, it felt like it was because I just couldn't shake. I was trying to get to a 5-second margin.
Yep.
And it came just before a pit stop, I think, for Sato, because I think he might have had a little bit of a moment because
He did have one spin, yeah.
Yeah, it took me
That
a
might
lap
have
to
been the moment.
realise. Yeah.
Yep.
Because the one lap I looked down, he was 3 seconds behind me, and then the next time I looked, he was 8 seconds. So I went, oh, he's had a spin. But, you know, dark racing, doing 3-minute 33s, that previous lap, of not too sure what his fastest time is. You might be able to bring up, I don't know if is there a little tab called standings or something there? I'm not too sure. Or no, it's not that one. It must be the other one that looks like standings. Might be results or something.
Nothing else there.
Nothing else there. Oh, okay, cool. Can't bring up the full screen. That's okay. I was just wondering what his fastest lap of the race is, but we got. Oh, there we go. That's the one. So let's have a look. His best lap so far is a 3 minutes 28. I can, you know, if you're watching this in the final session or even tomorrow, we're going to have, I think, Darky doing the stream tomorrow for session 3, and Longy's going to take control of this Porsche. You're going to start seeing times 326s, 325s from Longy, I would imagine, in race pace. He does pretty good.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's why they're clear favourites.
And he does it casually good.
Yeah, and here he coming up now to lap Lou, I think so. Lou's about to fall a lap down.
It's a good car, that Porsche. I almost went with that for the Le Mans.
Yeah, I think next year I'll probably jump out of the GT. I think I'll be jumping in one of these. The DPIs look like a lot of fun. I did some laps with the DPI. And yeah, they're a lot of fun because you don't have to worry about managing any batteries or doing anything. You just get in and drive. But these look
like us.
Yeah.
Sounds like us, Woody.
Pretty much, but these look like a lot of fun, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, I think basically they're running just the battery on balanced majority of this race. It's only when, I guess, they're in a battle, they might try and put it to attack or something just to try and make an overtake.
Yeah.
And then once that's done, they'll probably go back to balance. Yeah, so... Yeah, they're an interesting car.
That's a bit of a trick in a battle, trying to push some buttons, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. That and trying to talk at the same time. I tell you what, that ends up in a war most times.
Exactly.
So, what are we looking at here? We've got Sato. And is that the Oh, no, that's Kempy coming through to put a lap on him in the DPI.
Well, I think he's going okay, the old Sato. He's driving a crippled car, but I think if he stopped, he's going to lose more time getting that repaired. He's probably trying to just get to the next fuel.
Yeah, definitely.
What have we got? Still got 48 losers, it says, but who knows?
Yeah, there's 48 minutes remaining in this race too, so still a long way. But you know, at the end of the day, he just needs to try and limit this damage that's on the score on the timing board, Stato. Really, to hand it over to you. He wants to try and use the time compression is going to be your friend, but You know, he wants to try and avoid too many more spins because it's just going to blow out that little bit more.
Exactly. Yeah, he's just got to bring it home now.
But rest assured, you will start the race still on the lead lap, and maybe only have maybe a minute wait, maybe not even that. So you know, you're definitely not out of it with a 2-hour session. Yeah, anything can go. Anything can happen in that next session in the morning tomorrow.
True.
We
All
start
we
in the
did is-
dark. We get the sunrise come up as well. You got to deal with the fog, the early morning mist as well. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I bet when the sun comes up, it's harder.
it sure
Can't
is.
really see. You can't see apexes that well.
No, your
We
lap
got this old
times
bloke.
drop for sure. Yeah. So currently he's what, nearly 2 minutes. Oh, he's 2 minutes roughly behind Magic Mass. So that's definitely, with a time compression, giving you a wait time of 30 seconds at the moment.
Okay, that doesn't seem so bad.
No, but so that's what I mean. He's just got to try and...
But then again, I'll be chasing you, won't I, Woody?
Yeah, but I can guarantee
Tomorrow?
that the pace I had today won't be there like that for the 2 hours tomorrow.
Don't give me that.
I was starting to feel it. Yeah, through a few ailments in the old body, but yeah, I was starting to feel it at the end of that hour. So 2 hours are pretty tough for me these days, but look, we'll do our best, and I'll have a good night's sleep tonight.
We've got the body and we've also got concentration. There's two things we've got to try and sort.
Yeah, exactly. But I've got this bloke here, which we'll obviously hand over to maybe Bo Kane, I think. And I tell you what, that's going to be quite a bit of pressure as well. So that could be working into your favour as well for the BMW team.
A battle in front of me. That's what I want.
Yeah, exactly. Because, you know, that can cause us to slow down. It can cause us maybe to have a little bit of a spin. Who knows, you know. So anything can happen. And all of a sudden, that 30 seconds can just be flicked away fairly quickly on track.
Yeah, it spins basically 30 seconds. Well, not 30, but can be.
Yeah, it depends whereabouts it is and how far off it takes you to get back on. But, yeah, definitely. Isn't this a great shot as they come underneath the Dunlop Bridge here at night?
Yeah. Tricky corner, these.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Tim's saying. Obviously, after being on iRacing, these cars do feel, you know, on Automobilista 2 really loose and a bit tail happy. But look, they are tail happy, these GTEs, because they're running hardly any aero to try and max out the speed down here as well. So take the BMW, for example. I believe reports are they're running 0 wing. So that's pretty bold, getting through these faster corners. Obviously a handful as the Unicorn comes into the pit lane as well to get a pit stop. So we'll have a look to see. He's actually just moving out. Nice livery, that all yellow. I didn't even take this as a really of a livery that someone would pick up, but it does look good.
Yeah, that was the one I was going to pick.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, yellow one.
Reminds me of the Benson and Hedges Formula 1 car, the Jordan.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I thought if I pick a yellow one, everyone would see me coming through.
We should go on board for a lap of someone, like just on the roof cam, and just show how dark it is, and we may be able to see the party atmosphere.
We'll go on Magic.
Look at that clear skies as well, the stars out there. People in VR do say this is a fairly cool experience too. There's the moon. It's pretty immersive when they got the VR goggles on, but I don't know if I can't drive with them. I don't know if you've given it a go or been able to give it a go somewhere, but it makes me feel sick.
Yeah, vertigo.
Yeah, exactly. So keep an eye on the left here. You will see just before he turns into the Porsche curves, I believe it's, you can see all the party lights here, all the purple, like a concert or something, some little...
Can we go after the race, Woody?
Yeah, might as well.
Good.
I've got to go on the Ferris wheel first, mate.
Ah,
Just feathering the throttle through that last exit part. I think that's the Ford curves
Yep.
or something there, and that's
very similar to the BM there.
yeah, it's a bit tricky, and this can get a little bit loose and taily sometimes if you don't hit this curb here right.
Oh yeah.
If you're not committed, the car wants to over rotate, like spin you out. So you've got to actually jump that, like hit on that curb, like Magic did. If you're sort of more on the track and only just nudge the curb, that's where it unsettles the car.
I try and straight line that as much as I can. It seems to suit the car.
Oh, exactly. We actually found raising the ride height on our car has helped. Just to, yeah. Well, the original setup that we had, like Magic was probably driving faster with it lower, but it was just so twitchy. And since we raised it up, so it's good little intel, I guess, for even anyone else watching, thinking about setting up, trying to get the pace. Low ride height's not always the best, so though we did have a bit of a rake going on too. The rear was up quite a bit, but we raised the front, lowered the rear a bit, reduced the rake, and the car still giving us good speed, but just handled through the Porsche curves a lot better, and they wasn't so snappy on us.
That's what I kind of did too, because I've lost my aero, so I've tried to create more rear grip.
Yep.
Which I think it's the best I can get out of it, but not necessarily. So
yeah, you can just see there, even Magic, I just know what he was feeling through that part of the corner there, the first chicane on the Muse lane.
he's under here too.
Yeah, but he pushed through into that corner and he was just struggling, you know, for grip on that rear end. The rear wanted to come out on him, and it's a very nervy feeling. But the car does handle, but you just got to be precise on your steering. If you start jerking your wheel when you're in that moment, that's when you're going to lose the car.
Yep.
Because it's basically on its limit of adhesion, of grip there on the track, as Lou's come in for her stop, and this will probably be her last stop. She'll get to the end of the race now. So Darky came in a bit earlier, so pretty sure it was Darky was the first one we saw have the pits, I think. So we'll have to see if he's going to be able to get to the end without a splash and dash. He's got the time to be able to conserve if he wants to. He's getting close to a lap on Truey, actually.
Yeah, well, he can please himself, really, can't he?
Yeah,
At this point.
Maybe Ducky hasn't pitted, because have a look at that gap to him and Truey. I'd say either Truey has pitted as well. I'm not too sure. We'll shortly find. We'll find out very shortly, though. One would think.
Yeah, I think he'll be pitting.
I think when they pit as well, they actually get their battery recharged, like they're fully powered again. So they can. Don't quote me on this. I did ask Darky's teammate, but he couldn't quite tell me the answer. But we're thinking, and Heath was thinking that, yeah, you can really attack on your in lap, because once you pit, you get your full battery charge when you leave the pit lane. So
that's important.
Well, it is when you come down to try and find those last little bits of time advantage on the opposition. It's definitely important. But have a look at the track map there. You can't see the track map, but all the blue dots means... Yeah, all the blue dots means that the driver's lap behind him. So he's basically lapped the field, even though Truey's still in front of him. It's the predicted thing before the end of the race. So he's going to have everyone lapped before the end of this race. So here goes. Sado's in for his pit stop. So this will be his last one, and then get him to the end. So hopefully he's going to get all that damage repair. Geez, it looks like he smashed up our foil paper, mate.
It's been through a mincer.
Yeah, it has, hasn't it?
Oh, crikey. At least his headlights are working now.
So, and look at that too. I think he just gave a flash of a light to Magic. So Magic's the leading class car, and this is what we thought was going to actually may have eventuated in the battle here. Because Sado does have some pace, and we thought that, we were quietly a little bit worried, thinking, Sado does know how to pull out some quick times, but I think just not having enough seat time in the game, Dado has really sort of hurt him, to be honest.
It would make a difference.
He's been a pillar of our team on iRacing too, so he's done a lot of work on iRacing for our endurance racing. We've obviously had Le Mans. There's been plenty of other long races currently on iRacing that he's been a part of, so he does like this game, but obviously it just takes a while to get yourself back sorted again.
Yeah, readapt to it.
Yeah.
He was so solid in session 1, really good.
Yeah, he was.
But you know, all you got to do is just push yourself a little bit past the point, and this is what will happen.
Well, I think he finished. Yeah, that was what I was trying to do in that last playoffs, and that's why I like this time compression formula. Even though I was out in front, mate, I was putting in those laps in the last 3 laps of the race because I wanted to try and get up to that 10-second margin on him, because I knew that time compression was going to bring him back to me, bring him back to us, I should say, and it was 5 seconds.
It was a magnificent session you did there, because I'm looking at it thinking, Jesus.
Where did that come from? Yeah.
Just slow it up a bit, will you?
Yeah, but I couldn't because Sato was he was on it, and
there was that gap pretty much stayed the same until he had a spin.
Yeah, exactly. That hurt him.
You know, but that's when you're on the edge. You think, if I can just get a bit more, I'll gain. Unicorn's in.
Yeah, so that'd be his final one. But he was only just in, wasn't he? I thought we were talking about how good his car looks, and maybe he didn't get the fuel.
I see a bit of damage there.
Yeah, a bit of front end damage, definitely.
Yeah,
It's,
lights out.
The right front is nose has been pushed in by the looks of it.
As Darky would say, munted.
Munted, yeah. You're going to hear that for session 3. Darky will be gracing your screens.
But not on my car, hopefully.
Yeah, well, hopefully not on anyone's car, really. But maybe some of the opposition are saying hopefully it might be on his own car. But look, I think Longy, if he's got his mind into the race, he's going to be able to get through these 2 hours in the morning fairly well. He's been used to long races
I think so.
on ACC and on a set of Corsa and different things. So he's done a lot of endurance racing and different things, sprint races and things like that.
He's also racing with no pressure, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, definitely. But you got to take it while you can, because I tell you what, I think there's going to be a lot more interest in the 2025 version of this. But let's hope anyway, because obviously we are waiting for a new update to the game, which is meant to make the cars feel a lot more better for a majority of sim racers out there and fix a few of those issues. And one would think also a lot of the multiplayer issues we'd think would be ironed out by this time next year as well. So,
well, that's the main thing. I don't really have issues with how the car's handled.
No, either do I. You get used to it.
I find them. Well, what are we comparing to? Another game or real life? I don't think they're too far away from real life, to be honest.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a clue, to be honest, either. But you know, at the end of the day, I just compare it to the amount of fun that I have with it. You know, I don't really compare real life. Oh, a real car would do this, or a real car would do that. You know, because you know, as they say, a lot of the real race car drivers say if a sim replicated what a real race car does do, well, especially these high-powered cars, a lot of sim race, a lot of people wouldn't be able to actually control them. The fun would go out of the game. So.
Yep. But it's all about the fun. Look at Night Havoc. He's having a crack.
He's having a crack, and definitely worth having a crack here at the Unicorn, because the Unicorn
He's got a draft.
Takes a little bit to get going too sometimes. But actually, this is to put a lap on the Unicorn too, I believe, because Night Havoc's already in front of him. So on track 2, the Unicorn is last on track at this stage.
Look at the draft he's getting. That's pretty good for GTE.
Oh yeah.
He's hanging.
And the brakes.
Look at this. Look.
It'd be good to go on board actually on Night Havoc if we can see how close he is here on the Unicorn.
Get over to the left. Get that draft, dude.
Yeah, I put a little bit of pressure early on the Unicorn too in the opening laps in the first session.
Mhm.
I think the Unicorn's just getting a little bit tired too because he is braking a lot earlier, and that's usually a good sign that you're starting to get a little bit lazy, a little bit doughy. You're not attacking the corners anymore.
Stay behind him, Night Havoc.
So Night Havoc just under 40 seconds behind the leader of Magic Mass.
He did a 48 last lap too.
Yeah, Match Star Magic.
Oh,
Getting held up here though.
yeah, had to brake hard there.
So he wouldn't be enjoying this, because it's cost him that little bit of extra time to mount that challenge, put a bit of pressure on Magic.
True, but he should be gaining. He'll be still getting a draft here.
So we'll be expecting Kempy to come in too. This is going to be critical to see when he's going to come in here. For him to get to the end of this race, he's going to have to pit with about 28 minutes remaining. If he pits still at his 30-minute mark with 30 to go, he's going to be touch and go if he can get to the end, unless he does some fuel saving in this final session in that DPI. That's what Night Pegasus was telling us.
Yep.
It's usually 30 minutes, but you've got to also remember that's when the clock runs out. You still find that, the race time for most of the drivers is 1 hour and 1 minute or 1 hour and 2 minutes in that first session. So he's got to try and find at least a minute and a half on top of that half an hour running that they're getting out of that tank. So it's pretty critical here to see if he's actually doing some fuel saving to try and get that pit stop. If he can come in the next, like not this lap but next, he should be right to get to the end. But if he comes in this lap, you'd expect that he'll have to do a lot of fuel saving.
Saying 7 litres, so if that's correct, he will be in. Let's check it.
Yeah, we'll stay on board here. We'll stay on the cameras on Kempy. Doing an outstanding job. Third outright too.
Mm.
He's a driver going solo right through this event too, so credit to him as well. Yeah. But the beautiful thing is there is the gaps in between, so obviously he gets a good night's sleep tonight. Doesn't have to be on till 9:30 or 9:20 when the lobby opens, but 9:30 when we kick things off.
Yep.
Here he is, he's coming in, so this is going to be a big fuel saving run. He's only trying to probably get an outright result here. He's obviously got the class, wrapped up here with Night Pegasus out.
That fuel indicator from my screen seems to be pretty close to the mark, eh?
Yeah, it could be because they'd probably burn roughly that, so he might not have got around another lap. And we actually had 0 on our screens on the stream here, so obviously I'm getting a different read into what you're doing. So you might have the magic touch out there, Rob.
Please.
We've got Cornsey Field joining in. Hey, Cornsey, good to see you, mate. We've only got just under 30 minutes remaining here of session 2. That's the live grid going on there. We've got 9 runners, actually 8. Night Pegasus, unfortunately, retired after he hit the wall out of an arch, I think he was saying, and then just couldn't get to... he did get into his pit bay, but just short of him actually lifting the car up, and then the engine blew. So that's unfortunate for him. He had no drive, so his wheels were still there, but just it sounded like a clutch, didn't it, Dado?
It did.
I think.
Yep. Yeah, he was trying to go, but it just didn't go forward. Sounded like a clutch.
Yeah, and the way he probably hit it, we got mechanical failures on, so that obviously did something there with the drive line, and so it was a bit of a shame for him. He was coming second outright at the time, so outright, so he was doing good in the DPI class. But keep an eye on Kempy at the moment. Still third after his pit stop. He came out in front of Lou, about 10 seconds by the looks of things. And Lou's trying to chase down, obviously, Kempy. And that's a straight fight to the end of this session, I reckon, Dado. Because...
I reckon, yeah. totally
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, Lou actually pitted. So actually, the timing on our left is actually wrong. So now we're looking at the at Lou. You can see the top right driver ahead Kempy is
Yep.
26 seconds. So
Yep.
that gives Kempy a little ability to actually fuel save if he wants, like coasting to some of these corners off the long straight. Don't hit the brake early. You know, just coast it in, save some fuel. It's going to be touch and go.
I think he could do it. He's going to have to do it because the pit's going to put him back a spot, I think.
Oh, it will, because Lou will get to the end. She only pitted just recently, so they're going to get to the end. And I think maybe Stu's going to take over the car. Being in New Zealand, it's a perfect time as the leading GTE car comes in. But yeah, Stu being 2 hours in front of us, so it'll be 11:30 his time that he'll be actually taking control of the car. So it gives Lou a morning off, and then she'll probably come in and take the final stint, I reckon, in the afternoon. So she will take a lot from this session, though, you'd think. So, you know, they're a car that may still hold on and get a podium at the end of this, an outright podium.
Long way to go. Who knows, mate?
Yeah. Well, we're not halfway yet. As we know, we've got 26 minutes to go, and that's our halfway point for this mega event here for Automobilista 2 players in Australia and New Zealand. And we're looking forward to hopefully getting a bigger turnout. Wouldn't double the numbers be good for next year, Dado? I reckon 18 would be perfect, even a few more.
I expected 18 this year.
Yeah, but
To
anyway,
be honest.
look, people are dipping their toes into this. It's something new. Like, we're lucky. We've come from console, a lot of us guys from ANZCRL, and this is what we had to do for driver swaps. You know, we couldn't do driver swaps on console, so we had to have this sort of system where we broke up races and had breaks and be able to swap your drivers around and all that. And came up with this.
Until you do it, you don't realise how much fun it actually is doing it.
Yeah, exactly. It gives you that team element and
Love
stuff
it.
like, and it's a challenge just to get to the end as well. So it's all about buying that ticket to that last hour, you know. So then that hour is a sort of like a sprint race, like a normal league race night, but you got to work to get there. You can't just rock up and find yourself on the grid ready to go. You've had to work before you got there. So that's the challenge. That's the excitement. And I'm sure a lot of the people that are having a go here tonight or this weekend will hopefully spread the word, and we'll see a little bit more excitement for the future years to come.
Yeah, well, some of the GTL boys are here, so they'll be yarning to the rest of the boys.
Yeah, exactly. I think we've got a half and half, really. But there's quite a few that came over, and we appreciate the support from the Gravel Trap Legend crew. Their name does say it all. They're all good buggers in pretend race cars, and that's what we really are.
P51s weren't here. I expected them here, but he's had problems of some sort.
Yeah, I think he had a car, his normal real-life car had some problems, but so that threw that out. But Mr. Jack Barrett, where are you? If you're watching it on the stream, where are you, my friend?
Probably changing nappies.
Exactly, yeah. He wouldn't have been able to do the full session with a young bub.
Nah.
So here comes, there's the two class leaders. So you've got Dado about to, actually, that's not right, because Night Havoc's still leading this race in the GTEs because he hasn't pitted yet. So apologies to Night Havoc and Bo Kane in the Porsche. Still leading the race, but that's Starkey taking another lap away from Magic Mass, so it puts us 2 laps down. So the GTEs will probably finish 2 laps down by the looks of that over the 2-hour session.
That's not too bad.
And the time compression is actually worked between the individual classes, not right through the field. So it actually goes through the classes. So the time compression was done through the LMDHs. And then for the DPIs, it was done through them. So Night Havoc took the checkers in the first session. So he basically, the gap between himself and Kempy was the margin that was in the formula. And it gave us the time for that. And that's the same thing that happened to the GTEs. Even though it was a lap down on the LMDHs, we started at 0 we started at the green, and everyone else behind me, the formula worked for them for how far they were behind the ANZCRL Racing Corvette from session 1. And here we go. So it's actually like a live grid in between sessions, really. So, yeah.
True. He's got to get his pit right here. Cost him last pit, didn't it?
Yeah, well, I think he was delayed a bit. I think it was a bit of damage. I think it was probably not from his doing, because remember we saw his brake lights were. I mean, his brake lights were working, but his night light behind wasn't working at all. Tail lights, but then they were working after the pit stop. So we're thinking that maybe he had a tap on the rear from someone. And Magic is back in the lead again, straight away.
Yep. He's still sucking in some fuel. Uh-oh.
So that wasn't too bad.
Nah. Seemed normal to me.
Yeah, normal enough. And you can just see that he's just coming out of pits now, where Magic Mass is just coming into that quick right-hand corner onto the Muse Lane straight. So
Okay. He's not too far away.
not at all. Not with 21 minutes remaining, and a lot of very tired drivers out there as well. So you still lap traffic to contend with. Yeah, thanks, Corny. We're definitely looking strong, both myself and Magic. Unfortunately, Sado's had a little bit of a struggle in this session. It's been a little bit hard for Dado, Rob here to be commentating, but he's kept the spirits alive, and we're willing Sado home. And obviously trying that, you will find the time compression once it's all been published later on after the race, that this margin that he is behind Magic Mass, which looks to be around about close to 4 minutes, he'll probably have a wait time with a 4-minute wait of just under 1 minute, about a 1 minute wait. So for Dado in the morning, so not too bad.
Yeah, it'll seem like an hour.
It will seem like an hour when you've got to sit there for a minute, but look, the Unicorn had to do it, and he was the last car to leave on the grid tonight, and he's up into 7th. So granted, Night Pegasus unfortunately had his car fail on him. Yeah. But the battle we're really looking for, I think, is between 3rd and 4th, outright. We've got Kempy trying to conserve fuel to get to the end in the DPI, holding 3rd position, which is not hard. Well, I'm not saying it's not hard to do. It's very hard to do, actually, in this field. He has not... Talking how clean the Porsche looks. Look how clean Kempy's car is.
Yep.
You know, he hasn't stepped 1 foot wrong here, I don't think, in this session. So good session for Kempy.
I think I noticed a few moths on the front, but that's about it.
Yeah, well, that's they get pretty bad around here, apparently. The bugs. One of the best sounding cars, I reckon, the DPI. It sounds very, very good.
Yeah,
sounds good around.
That.
How good does it sound around the Daytona for the 24?
Yeah.
And around the bankings and stuff.
Yeah, it echoes.
Yeah. So you can see the lights starting to get a little bit lighter now. It's probably around about 2:33. Like, it finishes 4 o'clock in game. We got ×5 time compression.
Fury's been solid.
Yeah.
Really solid.
He sure has.
Who's that behind him?
Oh, I couldn't quite catch it. Let's have a look. We'll wait and see when the camera pans out.
Might have just passed him.
That's Magic.
That's you.
It's not me. It's ANZCRL Racing.
It's your car.
Apparently you're ducking straight out of here going on, you're actually on Amazon at the moment buying up race tape, Dado, as they're saying in the chat. So getting the patch up tape. They're saying you're on Amazon while you're doing the commentary. You're buying race tape to patch up the car when Sado brings it in. Trying to get cheap race tape on Amazon.
Rip it. I'm ripping all that off. I'm just going chassis.
Going chassis, going bare bones.
Yeah.
So there's been a bit of talking point really in this session when you think about it. There's, obviously Night Pegasus, Kempy's run, holding third, Lou doing the big chase here to try and see if she can get herself onto the, well, it's not the podium, but at least to be in third place at the end of this session. Magic Mass started the race at the green lights, leading the GTE class, but then stalled it, or something went wrong. He was going up towards the Dunlop chicane and just come to a standstill, and basically left the field to pass him. And
I know. That must have been either a timing thing or he stalled it. One of the two.
yeah, I don't
Like
know.
a timing issue.
Unless he had sometimes what he does, maybe his wheel, he had no force feedback. That could have been a thing because he seemed to pull, like he wasn't on the racing line, he pulled over. He may have just been resetting his wheel or doing something. Because you're not going to drive this for 2 hours without force feedback.
No. I've done it once in a race. Not easy.
So Kempy's actually 40 seconds. So, geez, well, this is one thing they need to clean up, don't they, in the game? The timing monitor on the left is totally out of whack. So he's actually 40 seconds up the road. So when we looked at it, I think it was 30 or 20. No, yeah, was it 30 seconds when he came out of the pit? So I can't remember now, but anyway, he's 40 seconds. But we're worried that he may have to do a splash and dash at the end of the race, being the DPI, and the fuel tank not as big as these LMDHs. So is he conserving fuel? Is he just, as Night Pegasus did in the first session, he was riding the clutch. So he'd be on the clutch coming into these corners and just coasting
what I'm
in.
reading is 44 litres I'm reading.
Yeah, we got 44 too, so maybe that could be correct. If we've both got the same number, that could be correct. And if that's the case, it's going to be close because there's still a long time, and he's probably burning 7 litres a lap.
Oh, I think they do more. Nearly 9, 8.7. I think someone said.
Oh, so yeah, so how many laps do you think we've got? They do a 3:30, so there's probably 4 or 5 laps to go. It's going to go close.
I think it'd be okay.
Yeah, it's going to be touch and go, but he's doing a good job there. He's got Night Havoc just in front. And Sato in front of Night Havoc.
Yep.
Just bringing it to the end. Cuckoo, welcome. It definitely, as you just said, these conditions are made for Night Havoc and Night Pegasus. And Darky. There you go. Got on Darky.
That's a very good point, Cuckoo.
Yeah, well done. Well observed. It's only taken us, what? Someone had mentioned that after about an hour 30 of running. At least an hour in the dark anyway. But well said. That Night Pegasus really was showing that he could drive. Oh, look out. Kempy, we were just talking him up before.
Oh, it's all happening. Night Havoc too.
Yeah.
He's
so
off because he had to
avoid, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just talking how Kempy didn't seem to have been putting a foot wrong, but the commentator curse has come to bite Kemp. We apologise, Ryan, if you watch back the stream. We didn't mean it. And they're the things that really hurt your fuel too, don't they? Because when you do go off, and if you sort of spin the wheel, you chew up a little bit of fuel to get going again.
Yeah.
So apparently Cuckoo's been out shooting ducks or something. He's been out hunting in the wild lands of New Zealand. And he would have liked to have made the race, but obviously he was a bit busy shooting things. I remember him posting somewhere. So hopefully you got yourself a meal for the weekend. Darky has lapped everyone in this field and doing it very comfortably. Longy will be there twiddling his thumbs thinking, oh, what's he going to do for the next 3 hours tomorrow? Longy will probably try and put another lap on everyone.
I reckon if you're going for a lap record.
Yeah, but he's not, you know, if Truey can keep it within 4 minutes, if he can, as we know from
Close.
close to, if he can keep it under the 4 minutes or close enough to it. We did see the gap for for the Unicorn to Dark Racing was basically from session 1 was around just over 4 minutes, and his wait time was 1 minute and 3 seconds. So
Okay.
it gives you a bit of an understanding of the
Incentive.
time compression.
Incentive it gives you. Yep.
Yeah, so Pixel, I don't know. I'd say Pixel will be driving in the morning. I think Truey's done his 2-hour stint. I don't think he'll be doing another one in the morning. But if he is, he'll be a minute on the grid, waiting to go. And the compression, as we said just earlier, it's on each class, so it's not across the whole field. So we put the time compression in the LMDHs separately, and then the DPI and also the GTE in their own separate compression formula. Otherwise, we'd have people waiting quite a bit right through the field.
Especially the fact it's a small field. That makes it even better.
Yeah, definitely.
Otherwise, you know, it'd be so spread out, it'd be pointless for a lot.
At the end of the day, you know, it's really about, you go for the overall, like what Kempy's doing. He's trying to get that podium if he can. That'll be the challenge for the DPIs if they can come home with a podium. But basically, if you've got a field of at least 5 or 6 cars in each class, you are just racing your class. That's for sure.
Yep.
But as you said, we've only got 4 LMDHs, 4 GTEs, and 2 DPIs entered. There's possibility of a couple of Europeans coming in for the race for session 3 in the morning. So
Okay.
we'll wait and see
Cool.
if they do come in. They haven't responded to let me know what car any of them are driving, so we just don't know.
That was close.
Yeah, he doesn't like that final corner. After he had the heebie-jeebies last lap, went bouncing the curb, and then running wide then. So, but a sensational job by Campy in the number 4 car. I think it's actually he's running the livery pack from Race Department, or Overtake, it's now known, with the American DPI cars, or whatever they're called, over the IMSA cars, and I think it's the Whelan or something car livery.
So what's happened here? Magic Bass has done a 359. 98's done a 58. That's quite slow, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe a little
Bit
bit of an incident or something, but yeah,
Yeah.
it is a bit slow when they're
Outbraked themselves or something.
unless, I wouldn't say that's a fuel conserving number, because a fuel conserving number would still be quicker than that. So, but look at this one. He's almost on his fastest lap here, 0.05 off. So he's on a charge on this lap.
Yeah. Lane 62 litres in my green.
Oh yeah, I didn't even. I was just daydreaming then. I was just thinking, oh, how good does that sound? I've been listening to it for an hour earlier.
Yeah, don't blame you.
And it's good to have the GTE cars actually out on track as well. Obviously, a class that's not run anymore. And
Apparently so, yeah. Sato said that.
yeah, and having the 3 makes and quite a few liveries to choose from, I think they really suit this track as well, like this sort of style of racing. So obviously a car class that will probably feature here at ANZCRL for future Le Mans 24 hours. And obviously the LMDHs will always be there. And if we ever get the the LMP2s in, they might replace the DPIs. But honestly, the way the DPIs drive around here and
Not
how
far off it.
yeah, I think the DPIs are probably going to be a bit more of a fan favourite, to be honest, over the LMP2s. I'm not too sure, but I don't even know if LMP2s are coming to the game. They probably won't be. Yeah, well, Magic's actually starting to... He's done a 358 that previous lap. Obviously, Magic's probably about to do a 346 or something ridiculous. Yeah, maybe Night Havoc, I think, he's holding just below that 40-second mark.
Yeah.
So he's holding his own here.
Yeah, well, with the compression, it's not going to be a great deal.
As we'll soon see, Magic's is about to go over the start-finish line now. We'll see on the timing boards what's he did. Yeah, 346.3. I think that's the fastest lap of the GTEs so far. That's a pretty impressive lap. Yep, that was his last lap, and that's what he just did. So he just did the fastest lap of the race right near the end of his session. So that's pretty good. With Kempy with a 10-second penalty at the end of this race. Lewitt's not going to be close enough to benefit from that 10-second penalty.
Okay. Doesn't come up on mine. Is that on timings?
Yeah, you can just see there at the very end, 10 seconds. So what's he behind? He's about 30 seconds behind if those timings are correct. I think that is roughly what it was. So Unicorn's had a good run too. He's benefited from Sato's little mistakes. I wasn't just talking about it. He's lost a note in front end. Look at that. That's bare. That's as bare as you want to be.
Oh.
You can almost see his toes. You can actually see the accelerator pedal, I think, there. I don't know what that is, if it's accelerator brake.
I'm sure I saw a boot.
Maybe it might be some oil filters. I don't think they're accelerated. They look like some sort of canister. Yeah, I think Cuckoo, you're right, mate. The DPIs will be more fun than the LMP2s if they ever did come to the game. They just sound good. They're a good car, the DPIs, for people that want to cut their teeth in prototype type racing, I think. You know, there's no buttons to press. There's no DRS. There's nothing to worry about. It's just, set it up and just drive. So Magic Mass looks like he's actually got... oh no, that's Sato. I thought it was Magic for a second in front with all the bonnet then. I thought for a second there we had some damage on our Corvette.
I'll scare you.
You did scare me actually. I'm thinking, oh jeez. I quickly looked up at the timing there on the top right to see if it was only like a couple of seconds away. You now
4
see...
minutes left.
4 minutes, and you can just start seeing now the sky starting to, obviously sun not too far away, and this is the view. This is the type of conditions they're going to be greeted with the drivers for the start of session 3 in the morning. So it's not dark, but still they're still running their lights. It's still dark enough. Yeah, a bit of the sting was taken out with Sato having that little incident. I don't know if it was anything to do with game related or just he made a mistake. But, really set the tune then for his race. He just hasn't... I think this last little part he's sort of been driving a lot more consistent, but he's still not the pace that he was at in session 1. Like a 355. He'd be knocking out 350s if he was running like he was in the opening session.
Even though he's got the car fixed, it doesn't seem the same as it was, that's for sure.
Nah.
Better check his fuel. 14.
Yeah, it's going down.
I don't think that's 2 laps unless he conserves.
Well, where's Darky? That's the interesting thing. Where is Darky at this stage of the lap? So he's going to get another lap because it's 2
Okay.
minutes 30. So there's one more lap to go after this one that everyone's on, and that'll be it. So that means I think Lou may just get that podium because I don't think Kemp's going to get to the end unless Lou needs to come in for a splash and dash as well, because I think Lou was one of the last of the LMDHs to pit. So this will be Lou's last lap. So if she had to pit, she would have... Actually, no, she'll have to do one more, sorry, because Darky's... Yeah, she's got this one and another one, so 2 laps to go.
Okay.
The Darky's a red dot on your screen going through the Porsche curves now on the map. Around the 8 o'clock marker if you're looking at a clock dial.
Oh, yeah.
So he's definitely going to start the lap. The lap is where the little blue dot is stationary with his little shadow, because that's obviously Night Pegasus' car in the pits.
Yep.
So once he goes over that, that will be the last lap. So every car after Darky have to do one more lap. So that'll be also, I think, Truey, because Truey is almost getting a lap down as well. I think Truey might be that dot. Oh no, there's Truey there. Good run. We haven't seen much of Truey, but you know he's kept that BMW.
Solid.
Very solid. I think Truey and Pixel will be really happy where they're standing at this stage. Obviously, Darky just took a little bit out of them. Quite a bit, actually. So 4 minutes and 18 seconds in front. So they'll be waiting just over that, over a minute, just minute and so before they'll start their race. So it'll be a fair wait. But he's 0.4 off his fastest lap time, so he's still giving it a good go. He's now on his last lap.
Plenty of fuel by that. Just check Kempage fuel.
So it's been a tough session for everyone, driving right through the night too. So credit to all the drivers in session 2. Put up your hand for probably the hardest session of the Le Mans 24-hour race.
It is hard.
It just seems a little bit lighter than what we're going to experience. So I think we wind our clocks back a little bit for session 3. Session 3 does start 4 o'clock in the morning, but it looks like this has just gone over. This really looks like it's more 5 o'clock, but anyway.
True. Yeah, he's conserving now.
Oh, big
Hear that?
time. Yes. Well picked up. Now he's clutching it.
Yeah, he's only got 6.7 litres on my dial.
So this is what he's got to be careful too, because he's got the class leader of GTE coming right up at him. So he's just got to be wary. He's fuel saving. And Lou's coming through Porsche curve, so she will close the gap on him, which will help for the restart of session 3.
Yeah.
So everything that she can get out of this car, she needs to go hard here. She's missing the front end too. So Lou's had a little bit of a problem as well. And that tells her she's had a 3:54 the previous lap time.
She is.
And she was only 40 seconds behind, I think, Kemp. So she's extended that too. So yeah, she's had an accident. Nosed it in somewhere. But will Kemp get to the end? That's going to be the story. So let's see Darky. I think Darky's come through the Porsche curves. I think he's Here he is. So he's going to take the break of session 2 into between session 3, leading this race by a good margin over Truey and Pixel in the BMW. But well done to Darky and Longy.
Yep.
At the
well
halfway
done.
point to be leading very comfortably, and only something major could probably stop these guys. But look, oh no, he's really
Still got
struggling.
5 litres.
Yeah, on our screens it is, but what is it on Kempy's screen? Is it 5? Because if he had 5 litres, actually he
Well,
would
he's-
still have to be coasting, wouldn't he? Because he probably won't get
That's
to the
right.
end.
Well, it's nearly just under a 9 litre lap.
Wow.
So he's touch and go.
And he's still got to, you know, that's the thing, that's the hard thing. You know you got to put the foot down to get going, but then you need to conserve. You don't want to do it, so.
Lou's not too far away by mine. Oh,
Yeah,
like
a
59,
minute.
Yeah.
She's getting, I think because she's had an accident. If she didn't have that accident, this could have been very interesting. I don't think Lou would have caught him, but she would have got probably within 20 seconds of him, which would have given, you know, maybe a 10-second or 11-second wait time before they took off. But
It's a nerve-wracking way to finish tonight.
it sure is. So what a great session it's been. Been a long one, obviously 2 hours, but, you know, things have been keep cropping up for us to talk about. Look at him riding the clutch. Oh, look at this little
What do we got here?
Darky
Oh.
towing Lou. So maybe, is Lou out of fuel? Or is Lou already finished? I think Lou's already finished the race.
I think she's got heaps of fuel.
No, she's got no fuel.
Ah, I can't read it.
Well, I think the fuel's saying 38 litres on my screen, but the thing is it's quiet as. Yeah, she's trying to get to the end, so she was riding the clutch. She's got to get it out of first. I don't know if she's in the low gear. It sounds like she's in the low gear. She's got to just get in the top gear. Right?
Yeah. Oh, it's all
So-
coming together here. What's going on?
Talking about coming together. Look at Darky just trying to get Lou to the finish here. That's a long
long
lap.
Oh, it's a long way to go. What about him?
Look, he looks like he's coming. He's got 2 litres. He's still look, he's still got the clutch coming in every now and then through the Porsche curves.
He'll make it. Sure,
True.
he's finished, isn't he?
No. No, he could.
He'd have to.
Yeah, he would have been, yeah. Well done, Kempy.
1.7.
Yeah, this looked like it was real numbers. So this is good to actually finally. Oh, jumps the curve at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe he got to the end. Look at that. Well
Yeah.
done. Well deserved. And here comes Lou trying to get to the end here, getting a big push. She's got 2 minutes to get to the end here. It's going to be... She should get there. As long as
The
she doesn't...
quietest car I've ever heard.
Yeah. Should be putting it in neutral. I'm not too sure if she can put it in neutral. Magic. What's happened to Magic?
Oh,
He's
showing off.
finished. Yeah, he's finished. So they've
Yes.
all finished. All right, so let's keep an eye on Lou here because she's the last car to finish here and trying to finish in 4th. Again, she's put in a gear. She can't do that. She would blow her engine.
Yeah.
She needs to put it in neutral. That's
Yeah.
all she needs to do.
Or just your clutch in. That'll do.
Yeah, but she might burn the clutch out too, because if she's holding
Ah.
the clutch in, so what she needs to do is put it in neutral and then just take a foot off the clutch.
I don't know if you can get into neutral when you're travelling.
She's
Not
still
sure.
got she's still got fuel though.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's another odd story to be
Explained,
resolved.
but
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I'm not. She's working against Darky at the moment by having it in gear here. What do you think, viewers? We're watching the end here. What's happening? Lou's just trying to have enough fuel to the end, or is she? Now
She's driving now.
Yeah. So she's not having the problem that we saw Knight Pegasus have, where Pegasus had no drive.
Like bugger if I know.
So here comes Truey for a little bit of support as well. He might start pushing Lou as well. So let's have a look to see what happens here. He's probably thinking, what's going on? So not too far for Lou now. She looks like she's going on her own accord now.
Yeah, she's up and running.
20
That's another
seconds.
Weird
18.
scenario.
Look how close it's going
Oh.
to be for the cutoff too.
Come on, get it in.
Going to be qualified as a finisher. Well
got
done. Woo woo.
Yeah.
Oh, how about
wouldn't
that?
end. The typical ending. isn't it?
Typical. Oh, it sure is a typical ending. As we say, there's always something that crops up in an endurance race, and there we go.
Amazing.
So
Well,
to
it's
round
damn-
things up,
damn
we got Darky being able to get right through here, leading the race a lap on the field from Chewy. Campy, third position in the DPI outright, and held on to that because the Lou either just conserving fuel to try and get to the end, and having 3 pit stops as well in that LMDHs over the 2 of the other LMDHs. So 1 extra pit stop for them, same as the Unicorn. That might have been for the damage, I'd say. Magic Mass and Night Havoc, they're going to be close. That's going to be good.
That was a good race, those two boys.
So what's the difference there? 50 seconds. So that's going to bring it right down to under 30, probably 20 something seconds, maybe near 30, something like that. So we'll see with the time formula. Sato, a race that he'd like to forget, but how far behind he's actually 1 extra lap, so he'll be another lap added on to his time plus the difference that he's behind him now. So yeah, it's going to be close to about just over a minute, I think, for the handover to yourself, Dado. But anyway,
What it is, it is.
it is what it is. Still a long way to go. But anyway, we'll wrap things up, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. You get a feel of how we're running this big event here at Le Mans 24 Hour on Automobilista 2, using 4 sessions and a time compression to compress the field back up between the sessions for a live grid for a restart. You saw them how they had to wait to get going on the grid. They had to stay a particular wait time before they got going to resume session 2 from session 1. And that also had a gap running through the field from the get-go. So they didn't just all go at the green. It's a continuation of the race right through to the final session, where we want to see as many people fighting for that podium at the end of this race. So thanks again, Rob. Yeah, I've been your host here as well, Neil Haynes. So it's been good to bring that to you guys. And you will see us on track tomorrow morning. And you'll have Darky gracing your audio screens with the stream tomorrow morning. Make sure you join in. Until next time, see you later.
Thanks, Neil. See you, mate.
See ya.